Welcome back. Today we are going to continue to challenge one another to maintain a consistent pace in our developing of a foreign language or our learning of a foreign language. For me, I'm studying Korean, so today I'm going to share a little bit about what I've learned during some of the study I've done so far. Again, the purpose behind these videos is to teach you not only something, again, I've learned, I'm rehearsing it, but also to encourage you for self-study, to promote this idea that while I study, you study, and then by the end of this school year, and hopefully into the next where we're continuing, we will have developed enough fluency to be able to hold the conversation in whichever foreign language we're studying. So the first thing I would like to discuss for today's video is the subject and the object particle. Now, a particle is something or an element that you attach to a noun in a sentence to indicate or to tell this the listener or the person reading what the subject of the sentence is and to identify what the object of that sentence is. Looking first at the subject particle, there's actually two. You would use one over the other depending on if the word prior ends in a consonant or a vowel. As an example, I would say na noon, so na being I, and then noon indicating that I am the subject of the sentence. If I were to use the formal form of I would say cho, un. So cho being I, and then un being the subject particle I would attach to it. So beyond the subject particle, we also have the object particle. For this, it works similarly to the way I would use the subject particle, where I would attach it to the subject of the sentence, but instead, again, as it says in its name, I would attach it to the object of the sentence. The object particles are, again, two, depending on whether the word previous ends in a vowel or a consonant, so you would use if it ends in a vowel. So then we have the object particles, which in the same way that you would attach a subject particle to a subject, you would attach an object particle to an object. There's two. There's lul and ul. I'm sure I'm butchering that. I'm still getting the pronunciations down. So you would use ul when the syllable prior or the last syllable in the previous word ends in a vowel. And if the last syllable of the previous word ends in a consonant, you would use ul. So going back to the example I used before where I was the subject, where I had na noon, instead I'm going to have na lul. So na ends in a vowel, so I would end it with lul to indicate that I, in this case, is the object of the sentence instead of the subject. Going into the formal, where I have cho, which again, taking the I, cho in this case, I, which is usually a subject, but instead I'm indicating that it is the object of the sentence with that particle. We're going to explore a little bit more, but for now, this is just a simple video of what I've learned, sharing it with you, and hopefully you're joining me on this language learning journey. Perhaps you're also studying Korean, which would be great, because then as you develop and I develop, we can potentially have a conversation or quiz each other. For the time being, I'm going to jump back into my studies and hopefully have more to offer you in the next video. Thank you for joining me.